Shure have just announced the ANX4 today, right, for InfoComm. So the ANX4 is a scalable receiver, right, at its core. It can do anything from 16 channels of Accent Digital or 24 channels of ULXD, right? And so Shure basically said, you know, there's a lot of new shiny technology out there, WMAS for example. Rather than saying out with the old, in with the new, they've said, let's take a system that we know and love, Accent Digital and ULXD, and let's put it into a single RU and make it completely scalable. So not only we're saving on weight, we're saving on heat output, we're getting, you know, all of our outputs from a single unit. And given that it's a license-based system, as we're saying, you can start at a relatively low price point for, you know, 1, 2, 4 channels, whatever. And as you start to, you know, increase, you can start to buy more transmitters and more licenses to do your full sort of system. So they're effectively saying, look, Accent Digital and ULXD is out there in the market in huge numbers, rather than saying to the industry, we're doing away with something that's already doing really well, we're going to help augment that. And so I think on the flip side of that as well, that they've already released is the AD.PSM. So they've effectively taken the analog PSM range, you could think of like a PSM 1000, and they've brought it into the digital world of Accent Digital. So now we're getting this really fleshed out ecosystem for wireless microphones, be it handhelds, body packs, right? All the way through to our IEMs. And so in theory, we could do a system now, 1 RU of an ANX4 running 16 channels of Accent Digital, and 1 RU of IEMs, AD.PSM, running potentially 32 channels, 16 stereo channels, or 32 mono channels, into RU, which is crazy for the production world, right?
Yeah. So if I hold a lot of stock as a rental company of PSM and Accent or ULXD, how will these new products, I guess, extend the life of my product or give me a whole bunch of extra flexibility?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. So on the AD.PSM range, there are some really cool tricks up that transmitter sleeve. You're not immediately going to the digital world. You have the options to do a WMAS output. You have the options to do a narrowband digital output, but you also have the option to throw it back into a narrowband FM. So it's sort of like a legacy mode for PSM 1000 specifically used, which means if you were to buy a transmitter, an AD.PSM transmitter, you could just buy the transmitter and use all your current, you know, PSM 1000 receivers and PSM 900 receivers. So as you start to roll up and, you know, have more budget, you then move into the digital world, but you don't like buying the ADXRs, the digital receivers. But you don't have to have this massive outlay off the bat. And in the flip side, for the handheld transmitters and body packs, if you've already got a fleet of ULXD and Accent Digital transmitters and you just want to consolidate your receivers, you could then start going with the ANX4. So you're taking massive amounts of RU and bringing it into a single RU effectively.